I'll ask Ms. Katrina to call the roll, please.
Ms. Casabon?
Here.
Mr. Phillips?
Here.
Ms. Tanner?
Here.
Mr. Burke?
Here.
Mr. Kugel? Mr. Lachlan?
Here.
And Mr. Bender?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay. On items to pull, if we go to page to
You want to
appeals.
go to Mary first and let her do
Oh,
her
yes.
interview?
Where's Mary? There she is. We're going to go to Miss Mary first.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm just going to go a brief overview of the council agenda before y'all start pulling items. First, remember on this agenda, we have special items for the introduction of the 2026 operating and capital budgets. As y'all know, that has to be passed before the end of the year, so we will have a public hearing in November at the regular council meeting on November 6th. We're also having budget hearings with administration that are open to the public to go over assets, facilities, the funds and personnel costs on October 14th. And then October 21st, we'll work specifically with the capital projects, both construction and professional services. We do have one appeal on this agenda in District 3. For the appointments, we have 3 parish-wide appointments. The council has already made nominations for the library board, RPC, and planning and zoning, so you will be voting at the council meeting next week. And there's 4 district appointments for Fire District 12, Hospital Service District number 1, Drainage District number 4, and Rec District number 5. We have 2 postponed items. One is the septic system inspection program and the Royal Gardens condominium. I believe we have everything for Royal Gardens now, so we'll be able to move forward. We have 3 amendments for the official zoning map in Districts 11, 6, and 12. We have 5 finance ordinances that will be discussed at the Finance Committee meeting next. We have 2 public work ordinances, one to remove Harbor Drive in District 13, and one to accept Copper Ridge development in District 11. There's 2 ordinances amending the code, one regarding traffic regulations in Beauchene, and then one requiring fiscal notes for ordinances. Resolutions, we have one to confirm the president's appointment for the director of HR. We have 3 resolutions to authorize the parish president. The first is an agreement with DOTD regarding the airport. The next is to request funding from DOTD for improvements at the airport. And the last is approve the LAHEAP meaning the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program, the 2026 agreement. Just as a reminder, that's with our Community Action Agency when they give low-income residents help with their utility bills. We have 7 vacate moratoriums, 2 in District 5, 1 in District 9, and 4 in District 11. And then we have 3 calls for a special election in lighting Districts 4, 9, and 16. And I just for the audience to know that our lighting district boundaries are not necessarily the same as council districts. So if you hear a lighting district, we had a question last week about that. They are different boundaries. And the last thing I want to bring up, I usually don't mention the items that you'll be voting on, but we do expect an amendment to 7939. This is the item that the council has postponed. It's regarding the council section of the code. Right now, what is in your packet and what has been advertised regards to travel reimbursements as well as the org chart, but we expect to have an amendment on that we're going to put on the website, and I'm going to email to all of y'all. I got final approval, and this will deal with the section regarding council salaries, because as of right now, the wording in there wasn't in line with the charter, so we have some new verbiage that we're going to give to the council to consider.
Okay, so Mary, a question.
Yes, sir.
When you mentioned 7939.
Yes.
Okay, it's not on this agenda.
It is. It's for adoption.
It's for adoption.
Oh, it's for adoption.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry.
We're just trying to, if we have amendments ready before the council meeting, we're trying to give the public as much time to be able to review them for the council meeting, so it's not just something they get when they get here. That always doesn't happen. You know, amendments can come up at any time, but we're just doing our best when we can.
Right. Thank you very much. Okay. What's that? Ms. Casbon.
This one's mine? Yes. I have an appeal that I don't know if you call it pull, but this is, to me, the first appeal that this council has seen on planning. We've had appeals on zoning, and this zoning is in place with this particular subdivision. And a little background, the Planning Commission denied this on the basis that they felt that the developer brought a different plan than what they saw at planning. Well, I have had meetings with staff, the developer, 2 commissioners on planning and zoning, and we've come to realize that a lot of people are not aware. I know y'all are getting the same emails that I'm getting, but this is, I've asked, I don't know if Ross or Ted, is Ted here? Yeah, Ted's here, that to be able to, because they're educating me to what used to be what we call the tentative plan, and that's exactly what we look at I think the zoning stage. The preliminary used to be where we would take, and that's where we would look at the drainage, setbacks, everything that dealt with this. And then, of course, the final. They had to meet final before they began to build. But we're finding that the planning and zoning and myself are having, I guess it's getting things in order that the developer had, let me reiterate, the developer has followed our code to the T. And this is what we're finding, is that we're beginning to table things or deny things or postpone things because the planning and zoning are not, they feel that it's not appropriate. But the developers are coming in with plans, sitting down with our staff, and they're meeting or exceeding our code with this new UDC. There are things that are put in other words, the developers are going the extra mile. And so they're getting kind of confused on developments that, you know, they're doing what we're asking them to do, but yet we're postponing or tabling or whatever. So I'm asked Ted if he would come up for just real short and
Wait. One second. I think we need to go through all the pulled items first.
I thought you could do that first.
Let me go through the pulled items.
Okay, pulled
first,
items
Ms.
first.
Casbon.
I'm sorry.
Okay. These are the items to be pulled. So as Ms. Casbon mentioned, under appeals, there's only one appeal, and it's item 1. And we have 2 speaker cards on that. We also have ordinance calendar number 7968, ordinance calendar number 7969, ordinance calendar number 7970, ordinance calendar 7971, and ordinance calendar 7972. These are all finance for introduction, and you'll see later that we're going to refer to the Finance Committee, who will meet right after this committee. I need a motion and a second to refer the remainder of the agenda. Excuse me. Does a council member have anything else? Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Kugel.
Mr. Chairman.
Turn on your light, please.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Chairman. Adoption ordinance calendar number 7956 and 7957. That's the last page.
Okay. Any other council members wish to pull anything? Okay, seeing none. Administration? None. And anyone from the audience? Okay, none. So, I need a motion to refer the remainder of the agenda minus the items pulled to the full council.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Burke, seconded by Ms. Tanner. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It's referred to the full council. Let me go through the items pulled. The appeal is Precision Development LLC appealing the Planning Commission denial on August 12, 2025 of the concept subdivision plan for Piney Ridge Estates. Located on the north side of US 190, west of Penn Mill Road in Covington, Louisiana, Ward 3, District 3. Ms. Casbon.
Yes, at this time, as I went through my explanation before, I was going to ask Ted to speak on the portion that what we're going to be looking at with the developer, at what stage this is in, what it means to have the concept plan, I guess. We kind of put you on the spot.
Y'all want to hear the speaker cards? I heard Chairman mention there was 2 of them. I don't know if y'all want
It might be,
to hear the speakers
who's
first
the
and then-
speakers? It's a developer and Paul, that lawyer. They signed in a card first. I just wanted this to be able to explain to kind of what we had in our meeting, that there was kind of a misunderstanding on where we were with this particular subdivision within our ordinances, the UDC. that-
Ms. Casbon.
Yes.
Just to be clear, you want the administration's representative to go ahead of the 2 speaker cards?
Yes, because what we're going to do would be just like a night, that when they would come up to appeal, they would present what they have.
Okay.
And I guess what I'm trying to do is explain how there was a misconcept at the planning and zoning, because we always look at, well, planning and zoning, denied this, and why. So I'm just kind of presenting a little background here to explain where we are in our procedures as far as the unified code, and then the developer can present what they're doing. Just the concept plan, what comes first and second.
Yeah, absolutely. I think at the beginning you kind of started mentioning the changes from the old UDC to the new UDC, and I think there are some confusions on that one. The old UDC used to refer to the 3 processes as tentative, preliminary, and ultimately a final approval for our subdivision, our major subdivision process. Today's UDC that was adopted in August of last year changed some of those to be in better line with more of the industry-wide standards and to be a little bit more clear to the public and to the commission's voting on these things. So now our processes are concept, which is your old tentative, our old preliminary is now referred to as final plat and construction plan approval, and then the last step in this is your as-built. Reason being is a lot of times we heard from the public and the commissions when our preliminary would come up for hearing and for voting, they said, well, this is just a preliminary plan, right? This is not the final plan. I'm going to have conversations and discussions, and this isn't what goes and gets built. And it's a very easy thing, I think, to kind of confuse when you hear preliminary. A lot of people say, oh, that sounds like I got some time to work on it and tweak on it. In the old code, that was the building plan. That is what we built to. So now under the new UDC, you will see it's referred to as final plat, to really emphasize that this is your final plat, and construction plans to understand that these are the plans that will be built in the ground upon approval and issuance of a work order. The last step that I mentioned that used to be final approval is now referred to as the as-built, because that's truly what it is. It is just confirming that it is built in accordance with the final plat and construction plans that were approved and a work order issued on. So we did have some discrepancies on that, and I believe in particular this case there was some confusion on what should be asked at the concept plan, and I'm happy to speak more to that, but also don't want to
Okay.
not give them an opportunity to present their case as well.
Thank
So
you.
if you have any other questions, please let me know.
Okay, thank you, Ted.
Thank you very much. Let's see, we have Mr. Derek Peliquin, Mr. Paul Marone first.
Thank you, Mr. Bender. Members of the committee, Paul Marone on behalf of Precision Development, and Mr. Peliquin is here, and he'd like to say just a few words. But first, thank you to Ms. Casabon for allowing us to be here this afternoon. We're all kind of getting used to the new UDC. Good many changes from the old code, and one of those significant changes is what Mr. Reynolds just went through, and that is the different steps in the development process. And I believe that we are the first project to start making its way through. And so we're all kind of learning on the fly a little bit, the staff, the development community, the commission, and then ultimately the council. So I think it's good that you have a chance at least to hear some of this before you're asked to make a decision at the council meeting. So I think it's beneficial. As Mr. Reynolds just said, this particular project is in concept subdivision review. So what that says is that our zoning is in place, so the use of the land, what we can do with it, the densities, all of that is set. So that zoning was set at S1 and PF1 for this tract of land earlier this year. And so we're coming through now based on that zoning and based on the provisions of the UDC to present a plan. And our charge, at least I believe what our charge, the petitioner is, and the development community at this phase, is to present a plan that is consistent and compliant with our zoning and your UDC. This is not like a zoning case where we say, look, we're zoned this, but we really think we should be zoned this. That's not really the inquiry. The inquiry, I think, now is you have your zoning. Now, here is a list of rules and regulations that you have to abide by to be able to develop the property under the UDC. And the review that the commission, the staff, and ultimately the council will go through is to determine, do you meet those rules and regulations? I would suggest that if the answer to that question is yes, then the concept plan should be approved. That's not exactly what happened to us at the commission level. And the commission denied our request, and I would say that they denied it for two reasons based on the comments that we heard. One, they didn't like the plan, and two, they felt like the plan that was submitted at the concept plan was different than what was discussed or what was presented at zoning. So again, during the zoning, which was in the spring, and the hearing before the commission, there was a great deal of work that went into preparing that concept plan, not just internally with the developer and our team, but also with the staff. A lot of meetings. The case was tabled at the request or suggestion of staff so that we could continue to work through those. But ultimately, we got to a point where the staff was comfortable, the developer was comfortable, and there was a staff report with a few comments which we concurred with and were prepared to address and told the commission that. But ultimately the commission felt like, well, we really don't like this layout. We don't think you have enough green space and things of that nature. And
Mr. Marone.
Yes, sir.
Let me interrupt you. Can you wrap it up pretty soon?
I'm sorry. Yes,
no, go ahead.
I'll be quick. So there were the concerns, again, that the commission felt, I would say, were subjective. They didn't like the green space location. They didn't like the layout. But respectfully, again, what we have here should not be a subjective review like you do have at the zoning level, but an objective review. We have a whole code that says if you want to create a subdivision, here's what you've got to do. And our job is to do that. We did that in this instance, and we were denied. And I would respectfully suggest that in the planning process, concept plan and then final plat approval, if we meet those requirements, and if the staff is comfortable that we met those requirements, then by and large, we should be entitled to an approval. And thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Bender.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Marone. Appreciate it. Next is Mr. Derek Peliquin, and you have 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you, and thank you for everybody for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I'm not going to regurgitate everything that's been stated today because it will sound very similar. I simply wanted to say, and first and foremost, we look forward to the opportunity to doing something here in Covington. We've done some things in the past. things have changed a lot. We've gone through a lot of motions with the parish and with the staff to understand and interpret the new UDC code. We've had multiple meetings in person. I'm come here to have these meetings to understand them. We've put those on paper. I think early on in the zoning portion that we went through for approval, there was some confusion because a plat was submitted with that initial zoning that should have never been submitted with it. So everybody got hung up on a plat that we were not yet worked through with the staff and understanding the UDC code in its entirety with the incentive program. So nonetheless, we came back to the commission with a new plat with some increased lots by, I think it was a total of 12, only because we know we're going to lose more lots. We don't have a drainage impact analysis in place yet. That takes place in the engineering stage of this. We have a lot of things to figure out. 3 things we do know. We are going to improve the drainage here because we've already looked at some preliminary things with it. We know that we're going to have to improve the traffic. My traffic impact analysis is done, completed. The last exhibit was submitted to DOTD as of Friday of this past week. We're literally waiting on comments and what their recommendations are going to be. And we're going to basically improve the flow of traffic through this as well as the drainage. So what I don't want to see happen is come back and be requested to come back to planning with a new plan that would then reduce lots. What happens at that point is we have to look at the financial feasibility of the project. I want to deliver the pickleball courts and the child playgrounds and everything that we've shown to the staff in our renderings. When we start cutting out because some of the commissioners, verbatim, their words were they did not like the way the subdivision looked, I'm subject to the parameters of the property and what I have to deal with. I've got a long rectangle, I can't make it beautiful and round and curvier linear roads. It's just, it doesn't present itself that way. So we use utilizing UDC code to do what we can within the bounds of that property. Fully committed to doing everything that we've said we're going to do on this project, and we're going to do it to the T. And we're going to abide by DOTD and the staff when it comes to engineering from the engineering design. I hope that you all see that we're working with you and we've met every ounce of the code that we can and exceed it. We're only utilizing 12 to 14% of the 20% that I'm allowed of your incentive program. We're keeping the numbers down to help make some concessions where we can. But nonetheless, I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you this afternoon and hope we have your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, moving on. So I need a motion and a second to refer this appeal to the full council. Motion by Ms. Casbon, seconded by Mr. Kugel. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, we have no more speaker cards. Moving to the finance ordinances, which are everything else that was pulled except for Mr. Kugel's 2 ordinances for adoption that were pulled. The finance ordinances, which are item 6, 7 under finance ordinances, item 6, item 7, item 8, item 9, and item 10. And the law allows us to make one vote to refer to the Finance Committee these items in globo. So I need a motion. Motion by Ms. Tanner, seconded by Mr. Phillips to refer those items under finance ordinances to the Finance Committee. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes, goes to the Finance Committee. Okay, moving on to Mr. Kugel's. Yeah, okay. On the ordinances for adoption, it is listed as item 15, ordinance calendar number 7956, ordinance to amend the 2025 capital improvement budget and capital assets, amendment number 21, St. Tammany Library capital projects. Mr. Kugel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a $258,000 investment. I just wanted to confirm, because it says Mandeville Library. I wanted to confirm it is the Mandeville Library we own and not the one we're leasing? I don't know if the administration can confirm that.
Yes, that is correct. For Mandeville, it's to replace the 17-year-old carpet that's in that branch.
For the one we own?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Seeing none, Mr. Kugel, do you want to make a motion to refer this to the full council? Motion by Mr. Kugel, seconded by Mr. Burke to refer to the full council. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Goes to the full council. The next item is 16 under ordinances for adoption. Ordinance calendar number 7957, ordinance to amend the 2025 operating budget. Amendment number 14, Mr. Kugel.
Yes, thank you again, Mr. Chairman. My first question, I think, for the administration, this is combining an animal services and Highway 21 Economic Development Fund. Is it a requirement to combine the seemingly unrelated items like this?
No, we typically present, if we have multiple operating items, then we present one ordinance rather than multiple ordinances.
Okay. The next question I had is, I see Mr. Rob there. I had a question for you on the animal services side. I couldn't see you with those glasses almost, though. But.
It's not my other prescription at home, so I can't. I'm legally blind without these things. Sorry about that.
Okay, so it says one of the expenditures is the 50,000 for increase the expenditure 50,000 for spay and neuter program for a total of 250 for the fiscal year 25. And I'm always thinking military term. Fiscal year ends October, but it is for us. It's calendar year. Is that right?
Yes.
Justin? Okay. So you anticipate for the next 3 months you'll need 50,000 additional dollars for the mandatory spay neuter program?
Yes, we have a lot of vouchers that are still waiting to be issued, and we are processing through them. So it'll probably be between 35 and about 48,000. That's what I'm projecting.
And you still just to remind again there is still a fee attached to the voucher person requesting the voucher. It's $60, $60 or $65 for dog, and how much for cat?
Yeah, there are co-pays. It can be, if it's a feral cat or a community cat, it's $0.
Okay.
We pay the entirety, and if it's an owned cat, it's $20.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mr. Kugel, I need a motion to refer to the full council. Motion by Mr. Kugel, seconded by Mr. Arthur Laughlin. Anyone else? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nay. I need a motion to, oh, excuse me. Arthur, you have someone who wants to speak on derelict boats? Yes, sir. Okay. So, Mr. Randy Pausina? Mr. Laughlin?
Yes, sir. Randy, could you just give us an update on where we are with the boats in Bayou Liberty and Bayou Lacombe?
I can give you an overall overview. So tomorrow at 2 p.m., the request for proposals opens for the 6 vessels that we've previously permitted. So good first step. As you know, we partnered for a federal grant. No word on that yet. Looks promising. We should hear something before the end of the month. And then also I've met with y'all previously with the interactive map that we created that allows us to be real time with the status of all the vessels in the parish that need to be removed. So basically, we have several things moving forward, and some things hopefully we'll start seeing some boats come out real soon once RFP's in place.
All right, that's good. And you are aware, I've just been notified like about a week ago that some of the boats their coordinates have changed. They've either gone deeper into the water or they've gone further down the bayou, so to speak.
Yeah, that absolutely happens.
Yeah.
And so that's part of, we have one of our consultants, went out initially and reconned everything. And then when if I do get reports like that, we'll go back out, and then prior to permitting or prior to removal, once we get there, they'll go out and verify if there's
any movement on our idea of a boat impound yard?
Well, I'll tell you this. In discussion with Sean Hoover in procurement, I think we've stumbled upon an idea of almost like a task order, to where we would have a request for qualifications and have a list of qualified companies that can remove vessels. And, you know, if we have budget, then there'll be a budget. And then hopefully, if the grant comes in place and our program's in place and most of the boats are removed that way, every time a boat is reported to us, we can instantly task order it to a consultant and start the permitting and advertising process and get it removed fast.
That's awesome. It's too bad it's not as easy as the red stickers the state police can put on a car.
To that point, that would take legislative action, right? We'd have to get some authorities, and you know, that's, I don't think they're going to have a special session for that, right? So we'll have to wait till you know, this session. And I am working with Dominguez, Representative Dominguez, and Representative Baralt, who were the primary authors of last year's legislative change. And hopefully this time around it'll be more substantive, have a little more teeth in it, and it'll help us with maybe that impoundment thing, so we could take it out. What you're referring to is being able to take it out the water right away and deal with all the paperwork after the fact.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you, Mr. Laughlin. Randy, let me follow up on a couple of things you said in the beginning. You said they were permitted. 6 of them are permitted. Permitted by our permits department, or you went through the state and you got those permitted?
Yes, it's a state and federal permitting process, yes.
Okay. How difficult is that?
If they're pretty straightforward, we got them back pretty fast. I would say maybe it's a 2-3 month process. It's Department of DNR, it's a coastal use permit, a Corps, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers permit was the second phase of that, and then depending on the water body, it may be a Wildlife and Fisheries Scenic Rivers permit.
Okay. So the other vessels that we know about that are derelict, can you start the permitting process now with the state and the federal as a first move, anticipating that we may have the money or from our budget or from grants to remove those? Or do you have to wait?
We absolutely do not have to wait. We could do it as a first step. But if you remember, a local entity had applied for a big national grant opportunity that would kind of cover most of the boats in the parish. So, you know, depending on how we line up our matching monies with that opportunity, it comes down to what we've been telling y'all for months now, and that is, you know, there should be a funding source outside of our funding source that would help us with that. But we went ahead and took the step with the money that was made available to the parish to go ahead and permit what we could, that we thought we had enough money to do.
Okay, one last question. We have $50,000, is that correct?
$150,000 originally, yes.
We have $150,000 that went out to bid.
No.
Well, how much money did you have to work with when the bids come in?
100.
100,000? Okay. Thank you. Now, next we have Ms. Tanner, and we have someone from the staff table, a council member, and then Mr. Laughlin. Okay. So, Ms. Tanner.
Thank you. I think the state allocated $75,000 for Salt Bayou. Have we received that to remove boats?
That's probably a better question for Jean, but I think that's through capital outlay process, right? So that would be later this fall?
Yeah, we haven't received the agreements yet. We just received the notice of funding.
Okay.
So we don't have access to the funding yet, but we did get the notice.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I believe it's Mr. Smith that has a comment or a question.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Off the top of your head, do you happen to know the 6 boats that were permitted?
I could send it to you. I do not know off the top of my head.
And do you have a master list of all the boats? Would you send that also,
We
please?
do. I will share the website with y'all. We have every boat that's been identified, whether it's through the Sheriff's Office, Marine Patrol, or Wildlife and Fisheries, or any source we could get, or just random people reporting them to them. We keep them on a website, on a map website. I can share that with
On
you.
the parish website?
It's not for public,
Okay.
So it's not on there, but I can send you a link to it,
Good
yes.
deal, appreciate it, thank you.
And just FYI, we're in the process of overlaying the district's maps on top of it too, which is a big question that comes up a lot. That one's on the list, I could tell you that, yeah. The big houseboat, yes. I know that one is. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Laughlin.
Randy, once this is up and running, two things. What's the process going to look like from the moment either we, the council or a constituent, reports a boat that needs to be removed? Then, like, walk it through, like, what the process is going to be once it's rolling. And then the second question is, do you need more money for next year?
Well, so let's take the first part first. As the law stands today, and as we've been creeping forward, I think the hope is that we're going to take care of as many of these 6 permanent vessels we can. One, if the grant comes through, that entity will take care of as many of the other 20 vessels, I think that's on their list, that it can accomplish. From that point, we'll have no money left, right? But we'll have a really good feel on the cost of boats based on distance from port and size and material and make and all that. We'll see what's left on the list, and then we can, maybe put together a budget. But like I said earlier, I think the smartest thing to do, in consultation with Sean Hoover, is to build that, task order list with qualified vendors, and then we can just rock and roll. So let's assume every boat was removed in the parish, but they're going to keep coming, right? And as they come, we would just task order them. But currently, there would be no money available in our budget.
Gotcha. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Randy. Appreciate it. Seeing nothing else, I need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Phillips. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Adjourned. Finance Committee.
Mr. Bender, while we're adjourned, Kevin, 1 second.
While we're adjourned.
I just want to say, I want to thank, the council, the administration. This is a program we never had before, moving derelict vessels. So, we had a little bit of growing pains getting into it, but it's going to make the public and everyone, our constituents, just happier moving forward. So, yeah, great program getting started.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ross.